Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and whether or not the selling is likely over or if we have a bit more downside to go. I'm also going to give you guys an update on my position. So I'll tell you what I'm doing there, as well as some targets to watch for over the coming days and weeks. And if you guys are enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also click the bell icon so that you get notifications. I am putting out these videos every day, Monday through Friday, so make sure that you don't miss out. All right, so looking at the Bitcoin daily time frame, we recently discussed this trend line off of the April high. And I want to start here because it was critical during yesterday's session. So this trend line off of the April high up here, I mentioned this just a few days ago, and you can see where it was support through here. Bitcoin broke below it, and then it became resistance. Now, I want you to focus on yesterday's high. So while everybody was getting bullish during this rally on Twitter, I said, be careful guys, because Bitcoin has to get back above $44,000 to $46,000 on a daily closing basis in order to flip bullish again toward 50,000. And sure enough, we saw the market reverse right from that trend line off of the April high. Now, speaking of reversing off of a trend line, notice where today is finding support. Okay, off of the same descending channel support that we've been discussing now for the past few days. Okay, so ever since back here in late October, you can see where the market has found support at this level. It did back here right at $40,000, and it has so far today just below 38,000. So right now we have a very range bound market within this short-term downtrend. Okay, so range bound meaning that the market right now is caught between support and resistance here, and it's going to have to make a decision over the coming weeks, because just a few days ago I talked about the significance of $35,000 based on several factors. So there's a lot of confluence there. I'm not going to talk about it today because I did just discuss it the other day, but I will link to it above. So be sure to check out that video if you have not done so already. All right, so 35 is going to be, in my opinion, a must-hold area. Okay, so over the coming days, if we do see this decline continue and Bitcoin fails to get back above resistance up here, then 35 is going to be essential. That is a must-hold level. If we were to see that break, all right, I'm going to tell you guys right now that we are probably headed back here toward 30 if we see 35,000 break down. But for now, that is going to be a huge area of confluence. Now, I think it's going to be really interesting to see where today closes, because we do have this support level just below 40,000 right here. So we saw it bounce from this area recently. We've seen a dip below it, but as you guys know, intraday prices are not nearly as significant as where the day closes. So right now, all of this right here, in my opinion, is just noise. It depends on where the day closes. If Bitcoin can close back above this area up around 40,000, then this level stays intact on a daily closing basis, in which case we could see another run at this area up around 42 to 43,000. Okay, so that's what I'm watching for. Where today closes is going to be significant. Below 40,000, this flips to resistance, and we probably do get that move down here into 35 over the coming days. If it stays intact as support, we get that close back above this area, then I would expect another run up here toward this resistance area. Now, as far as an update on my position, you guys know that ever since we had this liquidation candle here at 42, through this period, I was talking about the potential for a move down toward 40 to 42 based on the way Bitcoin has treated these liquidation candles in the past. And I've also said recently over the past week that I have orders set all the way down here toward 35. So I had more bids that got filled overnight. I have more bids set all the way down toward 35,000 just in case. This is spot only, guys. I'm not using leverage. These markets are way too volatile, way too uncertain right now to use any kind of leverage, in my opinion. Okay, so I have orders set all the way down toward 35. A lot of them have filled already, so I am in a long spot position. Now, the reason I'm in that position is because I continue to think that we are going to get a bounce from this area. Because if you'll notice, so far we have not really had a significant bounce since back here in November when Bitcoin topped out at $69,000. Okay, so really we've moved from 69,000 all the way down here toward just below 38 in a matter of about 73 days. Okay, that is an incredible decline, about 45% off of the high back here in basically 2.5 months. And if there's one thing I know about markets, it's that they don't move in a straight line. All right, so we have not had a significant bounce from Bitcoin. Even this move back here from this low up here to the highs was not anything close to what we've seen even in a bear market. I'm not saying that we are in a bear market. However, if you even look back here toward late 2017 when Bitcoin topped out during the last cycle, okay, several of these moves were very significant. Even this initial sell-off, if you look here, a lot of these bounces were 40 to 50%. So this one right here was about 50%. We had another one right here that was around 40%. This one back here was obviously much more significant, right around 90%. So you get the idea. We had several significant bounces along the way during this macro downtrend. Okay, now if you look at the recent decline, this 45% decline within about 2.5 months, we have not seen anything close to that. So from this low up here to the high, about 23%. Then obviously a lot of these bounces through here were really nothing, 10, 11% the entire time. So we have not had that significant, 30, 40% bounce that you would expect even in a bear market. Again, I'm not saying we're in a bear market, but even in a bear market, you do get those bounces. So I am still expecting a 30, maybe 40% bounce from the lows here over the coming weeks. So I am still anticipating that, and I'm playing it accordingly. Like I said, I do have a long spot position on that started up here at 42, and a lot of those bids have been filled. I have bids set all the way down toward 35 just in case we get it. Okay, now, as I mentioned, if we did see Bitcoin close below this area around 35 over the coming days on a daily and weekly closing basis, then that would set up a move down toward $30,000, okay, toward these lows. But for right now, 35 is going to be the level to hold. If we saw Bitcoin move below that too, guys, if you look at a lot of the altcoin markets, they would be trading below what I consider critical support if we saw 35,000 break. So 35, in my opinion, is going to be a big level to really keep this somewhat constructive price action that we've seen here over the past 12 years or 12 months here intact, just because, as I've said before, we've had the move up and now we've really just had sideways price action. So we don't want to see this market start to head back here toward these lows after putting in an all-time high up here. Okay, we really want to see 35,000 hold to stay somewhat constructive on a more macro level. All right, guys, so that's really it. I'm still in my long position. One last thing I will say is if you are looking for a way to play this, and it's not financial advice, this is just my opinion, but what I would do if I had not been bidding through this area down here is I would wait for a close above 44 to 46,000. And the reason for that is you're basically playing a reclaim of a level that is now resistant. So it was support before, you're waiting for a reclaim of that level to flip it back to support. And it may seem like you're missing out on a lot of the price action if you do that. However, in my opinion, it's probably the play with the most conviction. And even if we get a close up here, even if you miss out on all of this down here, then you're still looking at a move, okay, up here toward 50 to 53, which from 45, 46 is still a significant move. So again, that's not financial advice, but that is just what I would do if I hadn't been bidding between $42,000 and $35,000. So guys, I know it's bleak right now. I know there's a lot of fear in the market. Everybody's getting bearish. But what I will say, what I will end this video on is that bounces tend to occur when everybody is the most fearful, when everybody's the most bearish. Okay, remember back here in July when we got this move, at this low, everybody thought 20,000 was guaranteed, right? Everybody was very bearish during this period here. And then obviously we got a big move higher. I'm not saying that that's going to happen this time. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but usually bounces occur when everybody is at that peak fear stage, which we are very, very close to, in my opinion. All right, guys, so I hope that this video has helped. If you did enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, smash the like button, and leave your comment below. I will talk to you guys again next week.